Welcome to the second update of me trying to launch a DevRel program in the company I work for. And today's topic is gonna be metrics. So here's the idea. Overall, right now we're trying to launch the program. We'll try to do some activities, to create some content, and do pretty much everything we can to start and make the wheel spinning. But on a parallel track, something else we already had to take care of is trying to answer a really simple question. Okay, cool, but is this thing actually working? How can we tell if the activities or the time spent in doing those is actually worth the effort? And I think today's update is gonna be around the difference between output and outcome. They might seem similar, but they're actually two very different things. Let's begin with output. Output is kind of easy to measure. As you can say, yeah, during this first 6 months, we written 10 articles, we created that amount of LinkedIn posts, we had so many views, so many interactions. So you already have kind of a number you can put in an Excel sheet and compare them. But is it actually relevant? That's another interesting question. So, how much time we're spending creating the articles? Is it a measure to know the success of the project? Well, actually, no, it's not. It is indeed something interesting to measure and keep track of, but the goal is not to focus on the output, as I said, but on the outcome. And the idea is, okay, we wrote 10 articles, cool. What impact did those articles generate? That's what matters, actually. And the most interesting metrics we agreed with management is lead generation. So it's not how much time we spend or how much effort we put into creating the articles, but how many leads did the article generate? And that's a really relevant metrics that measures if the project is actually working. However, this doesn't mean at all that the output isn't relevant. So we still want to keep track of the effort, how much time do we put into creating the content, and the output, how much content we can actually generate. How many articles, I keep saying articles, but it may be webinars, it might be how many talks we can deliver at conferences, and everything has to be measured and kept track of. But that's not how we measure the success of the project. The project is measured through the outcome. And even if we agree that outcome is what we want to measure to keep track of success, where should we put our thresholds? Like I said, lead generation. Okay, awesome. How many leads do we want to take in order to consider the project successful? 1, 5, 10, and only leads do we want to keep track of actual customers? How many conversions do we have? We want 10%, 50%, 90%. That's also another challenge that we're facing right now, at least in the earlier phase, as we hardly have any other numbers or references to use in our case. It's, at least for our company, the first time we try to do something like that. So it's even difficult to say we want 3 leads in the next 2 months. What does even 3 means? Or 5 or 10 or 20? And that's also another really interesting topic we're just exploring as time goes by. We might want to set some thresholds and see, I believe in 6 months, how far we are from the threshold. Did we do twice that number? Did we do half that number? And even at that point, we should be smart enough to say, okay, we did twice our goal. Was it because we were so good, we did a lot of generations, or we did twice our goal because we were just kind of naive and we picked a wrong number, a wrong goal? It was just too easy to reach. Or if we underdeliver, did we underdeliver because we didn't create enough content, because our content wasn't good enough, because it just didn't work, or simply we were way too optimistic in the beginning, we said a number that was impossible to reach, and even if we did our best, we simply didn't get there. It's gonna be fun to do this kind of analysis in the next few months, and that's obviously another topic I want to bring here to the channel. Maybe at the beginning of the next year, I'm gonna say, hey, we had this metric, this is what we reached, and this is our analysis after all the thing has been done. Wrapping up. First, keep track of the effort to know how much time you're spending doing the activity. Second, keep track of the output to keep track of your firepower, how much things you can actually do and deliver. But number three, keep track and measure carefully the outcome, the results you can achieve, and that is gonna be your category of metrics that will, in fact, measure the success of your program. That's pretty much how we think right now. I hope it's the right direction. In any case, if you have any kind of advice about measuring developer relations activities, just please let me know in the comments. And as always, I'm happy to have a chat. That's it. It was the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. Wish me luck again and see you in the next update. See ya!